Hello, everyone. I'm Lydia, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Take Back Your Power. I'm here to give you your new moon reading, which is April 30th. For us in the Northern Hemisphere, it is Saturday, April 30th, tomorrow, and it is a pretty big one because there's also a solar eclipse that is happening at the same time. So the energies are very high at this particular time, even that much higher than any other time that we've had a new moon or a full moon. So we're going to get right into this. I have a couple card decks that I'm going to be using here. We're going to be using the Divine Feminine, which is quite beautiful. It's lengthy and a lengthy description in the cards, but it's actually very, very beautiful. And I think one of the reasons why we've got this coming out at this particular time is because of the need for the nurturing, the compassion at this particular time, not only for ourselves, but for humanity as a whole. And I'm also going to be drawing again from my Moonology manifestation card deck as well by Yasmin Boland. I've been drawing from this card deck for quite some time, which is really interesting. I have quite a number of card decks, and I usually talk to my guides and ask them which card deck is the best to use for the reading. And they've been pulling the Moonology decks, which I think is kind of interesting, just because it is about the moon, but it's also the messages have been very, very clear. So at this particular time, we've got a lot of aspects going on. There's a lot of astrological aspects that are influencing this particular time. And I know that about I guess 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago, on the 12th of April, we had a conjunction between Jupiter and Neptune. Now, I talk about this to whom I'm talking to because of the fact that it is so iconic. It's basically Jupiter and Neptune were in conjunction in the constellation of Pisces. So here we have a very fluid, moving kind of situation between those planets. And what we feel, or at least I can say what I felt, is it is about water. Neptune is about water. Jupiter is about the newness and changing transitions. When I see this happening, we've been having some really wicked weather in the Northern Hemisphere. Where we are right now, there's snowstorms and there's rainstorms, which when we had a snowstorm, we had thunder showers at the same time. And that to me just it's I've never ever seen that before in my life. Actually, I've heard thunder once or twice in winter, but not like this. This was a full-on thunderstorm that happened, like two of them that happened when it was 2 degrees Celsius. So having that happen, we are going through such changing times when it comes to the fact that we are Pisces being very dreamy, very psychic constellation or sign, astrological sign. It really embellishes what Neptune has. If you think of Neptune as a very flowing planet, a very influential planet when it comes to water, when it comes to the flow of things. This is a time where especially those two are extremely high in psychic energy. And I gotta tell you, I've been feeling incredibly close to those who've crossed over on the veil. I've had my entire family actually cross over, and now it's just that feeling of home, that feeling of that beautiful set of beings that have been there for me all of my life and there for you all of your life, because the veil is very thin at this particular time. And when I say the veil, I mean whatever what's the word I'm looking for? Energy. I guess you could say the vibrational energy, the frequency that we don't see, but it's like a curtain, basically a curtain that closes us off from seeing what's on the other side or seeing any other beings that are there. And I can tell you that you're never alone. Never. Like never. And I'm talking about even when you're in the bathroom, just saying. So anyways, with this crazy energy that's awesome at the same time, we're going to go through this reading. I'm going to start with the Divine Feminine. Now, as per usual, I've picked the cards, but I haven't looked at them yet. So here's our first look. Beautiful. Joan of Arc, the warrior of light. Oh my gosh, I am getting chills right now thinking of this. I have a steel-like faith in myself. The angels armor me with conviction. Now, take a look at this. Look at how powerful she looks, and look at the light shining behind her. It is like all of the divine is behind her and doing whatever it is that she needs to do. And it'll tell this card deck will tell you a little bit of a story of Joan of Arc. Now, we are the warriors of light. We are here to change what is going on in this world. We're here to bring peace, bring freedom, bring the love and compassion back into the world. So it is very fitting, especially at this particular time, that Joan of Arc comes up in this reading. I think you're going to be, if anything, maybe getting as many chills as I am right now, because holy moly, it's so true, pertinent. So who she is, Joan of Arc represents the power that we all possess when we're aligned with our calling. She is a legendary heroine in France for her role in the 100 Years' War. She was born in 1412 in Domremy, France, and at the age of 13, she had a vision that would change her life, the course of her life. She relates years later in transcripts from her trial after being captured by the English that she would have preferred to stay in her hometown spinning wool. But the power of her vision and her belief in the truth of it compelled her to follow the voice she heard within her. The vision was of the Archangel Michael, accompanied by many angels. She said, "I saw them with my bodily eyes as well as I am seeing you, and when they left, I wept." The Archangel Michael told her that she was meant to drive out the English from France. Dressed in men's armor, Joan of Arc led several campaigns against the English and became a symbol of hope. The power of her conviction that she was acting on God's behalf shifted the tenor of the war in France's favor. She was captured in May of 1430 and taken to Rouen, which was then under English rule. A heresy trial led by Bishop Cauchon charged her with the repeat offense of cross-dressing. She was condemned and sentenced to death in May of 1431. 25 years later, her mother, Isabelle Romier, among others, demanded a retrial. 115 witnesses were called to testify on Joan's defense. She was declared innocent in 1456, and Pope Benedict the 15th canonized her in May of 1920. When your soul selects this card, so this is the message for you. During Joan of Arc's heresy trial, her interrogators asked her if she was in the state of grace. She answered, "If I am not, may God put me there, and if I am, may God so keep me." Her unfaltering faith in the truth of her own visions made the impossible possible. As a teenager, she led an army that changed the course of history for France. And because of the trials, we have sworn testimony detailing the courage of her convictions and her own testimony about her visions of the Archangel Michael, who inspired the course of her actions. Act and God will act, she said. The faith she had in her vision allowed her to take on a task that had never been done before by a young woman. Her every action chanted, "I am not afraid. I was born to do this." Chills, getting lots of chills here. She is associated with the fleur-de-lis, known as the flower of light. It represents the Trinity, the profound truth that the Trinity would not exist without Mary, and her brave response to the angel Gabriel's call. Joan, like Mary, knows she is directly connected to the divine from within her, and she allows that connection to guide her. Joan of Arc's life is a testament to what is possible for us when we believe steadfastly in our own vision. She asks for us to move beyond our fear, to act on our truth, and to do this with the confidence of knowing that our every step is flanked with angels. That is so profound. And I say this because this is us. We are the warriors of light, as I said before. And because of that, we are being faced with the absolute truths of everything that is around us. And mark my words, everything that you see is not as it is. And your internal intuition will know that. All you have to do is just get in there, be with yourself, be in a quiet space for yourself, and just ask the question, is this real? Is this the truth? And see what answers back, see what you feel. This is very interesting because of the fact that she's fighting literally for the truth. She has faith and conviction in knowing that what she's doing is basically a purposeful event. This is her purpose, and she was given this purpose. And this is our purpose. Lightworkers, I am talking to you right now. I am saying to you that as much as it is so difficult to go through this time, we are here for this reason. We are here to hold the light for everyone that's around us. Without us, the darkness will take over. So we are here to hold this light. You need to remember that. We all need to remember that. And if someone is failing to remember it, because at this particular time, the world is on our shoulders, then please remind them. You are the one that is there to remind them. Joan of Arc, in this particular card, in this message, is here to remind us that she had the perseverance. We have the internal perseverance. And most of us, if we also look at how many times we've probably seen and experienced as much as we have on this planet, the many, many times that we've been here and or are here, because I do believe that we are in a steadfast, linear thought pattern, whereas time is effortless and limitless. And if that's the case, then we are living all of our times at the same time at this moment, all of our lives. And we are gleaning from every life that we're living, all of the information that we need. It could culminate right now in this lifetime because we have the capability of doing this. And if you think about this, do you remember hearing about, well, actually, I won't even say hearing about it, all over the world, we are seeing people cry out for the truth, crying out for the freedom that we basically want in our entire environment. We're already free within. And in fact, that is what Joan of Arc is saying. She knew that she had freedom. All she had to do was spread it. Just spread out the message. She's free, so she wants that for everyone else. And that is exactly the power we have with the energies that are here at this time, at this new moon, manifestation moon, and the solar eclipse. The solar eclipse is shedding incredible light down on us, just like in the card. That light is just amazing. And basically, we are able to take that light and anchor it into earth, and we can shed this light to others. It is just a simple thought. Seriously, thinking about it, sending out that message of compassion and love for everyone. I'm going to challenge you on a belief system. The people that are out there, we call them the elite, we call them the Illuminati, we call them so many different words. Anyways, they are individuals that are a very small percentage, but they seem to hold so much power over the entire world and over us, which they don't, by the way. They are still, strangely enough, they have a soul. Each and every one of them have a soul. And that soul is pure. This is a challenge because it's hard for me to look at what is being done and what they're doing, as well as trying to keep a very neutral point of view is very difficult to do. But if we can look at this and say, they're in the dark, they're unbalanced, they're imbalanced, and they don't need to be causing an imbalance for me. I choose to be balanced. I choose to overtake that imbalance and create the balance. Don't forget, it only takes one light to be shone in a dark room in order to have some kind of an illumination. And imagine how powerful it would be for hundreds of thousands millions of those lights shining on the dark. And that is exactly what it is. We're here to illuminate the truth that is happening on that end. And it is so powerful at this particular time period, as well as illuminate the fact for them. The more that we have this power of saying, you have no power over me, I have the power within myself, you shed that light, just like Joan of Arc did. You shed that amazing power of light and spiritual being. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So we're going to go into the next card deck. Okay, so we're into the Moonology decks, and there's 2 cards in there. I'm going to pick the first one here. The first quarter moon in Capricorn, unleash your kindest self. Now take a look at that. Realize that I'm talking about compassion. I'm talking about being able to forgive, maybe. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for here. Forgive the darkness. That is a hard one. Again, like I said, I'm totally in, I totally understand how difficult this would be. But basically, unleash your kindest self is not only to yourself, being kind to yourself at this particular time. Self-care is very important, very, very important. But it is also saying that if you could look at those whom I just talked about, the 1% or the 1% of the 1%, and look at them as the soul rather than who you see on the outside. Again, it's a challenge. Their actions don't need to be forgiven. I say that much, is that you don't have to condone what they do. But know that there's a soul within that basically is part of all of us. And they just choose to exhibit the worst side. I'd have to say that the negative side, that side that's the darkness. We all have the light and the dark. We all do. Every one of us. We have the duality. We have the male and the female energies. We have that kind and not so kind side. So this is saying, choose that kind side in order to look at who's been out there and how they've been influencing you, and try very hard to look at them from a different point of view, from looking at them from a different perspective. I know it's difficult, and I'm throwing it out there, but I do believe that if we are able to do that, to shed compassion, we will set in motion a new world for ourselves. This is what's important. At this particular time, we're seeing so much coming out about not so great world, right? I mean, you're looking around and it's very difficult. It is not a normal or even a new normal. There is no such thing as normal at this point. It is a transition. It's a transformation. We are the butterflies, or basically we're in the chrysalis at this particular time, and we're turning into whatever it is that requires us to be the butterflies. And with that, it's hard. It's a harsh thing. So this is where trying to go within and basically go within the depths of your being, the soul, and talk to your guides, talk to yourself, your higher self, and say, look, I choose to forgive and or see the soul that is considered the dark soul, that of the people that are around you as well as what's in you. And I choose to look at that person or that group of people without fear. I choose to see the soul and forgive. The actions of the person, however, I do not condone. You can do that. It is basically there's a capability that we have, and in order to get to that new world, that beautiful world, we have to do it. So sorry, I'm looking at the wrong portion in this here, first quarter moon. So unleash your kindest self. Are you being too hard on yourself or someone else? Do you think you need to be strict with yourself or other people to get to where you want to go? Your challenge now is to be disciplined in terms of doing what needs to be done to get what you want without sucking all the joy out of it. Feeling good about life is one of the most important and powerful tools you have when it comes to manifesting. So be kind and be the most charming self. Now, this is also saying that somebody around you could be getting on your nerves. And that is also part of the energies of this time. Not only is it a very spiritual time, it's also a very trying time. So that could be a very huge draw on your patience. So, how they say patience is a virtue, I think that's just a declaration because we have to learn a lot of, well, humanity in general is not a very patient species. So, that being said, is look at it from a different point of view. Look at whatever the person or group of people are doing on the opposite side of where you've been seeing it. Choose a different perspective. And once you do, you're seeing the higher perspective. So that is kind of what is going on. If it has to do with relationships and you're seeing maybe something has been happening for a long period of time and hasn't changed, and you're just hoping and praying that things will change. Well, it's kind of like looking at the cycle of something that's continuing over and over and over again and trying to see something new in the same cycle. It's not going to work. So this is where you need to take either a different course of action in order to get something done, or you need to look at the person or group of people in a new light in order for them to be, well, in order for it to be a little bit more compromised, including the fact that if you yourself have found it very difficult to be like, you feel like you're beating your head on the wall for trying to come up with something with regards to a project or a situation that you're going through, a circumstance that you wanted to iron out, looking at a different perspective from that kind, compassionate side of you is what is asked at this particular time. The manifesting mix. It's good to be realistic, but you don't have to, you don't want to have the stench of reality so far up your nose that you can no longer smell life's perfumes. And this is looking at everything that's around us too, from a set of eyes that tells you that everything's just crazy and it's not going to get any better. You have the power to change that, to make it better. And this is also by going into yourself and finding that joy. If you found that you have been absent of it, try this. Try telling yourself out loud, I am joy. And say it over and over and over and over again until you actually feel something. Whether it's feel something stir within you, or feel the energy here in the third eye pop open, or whatever it is, but say it out loud and say it with vigor, like literally, I am joy. Say it over and over. And this will help. Mark my words. I'm saying it because of experience. Manifesting mindset, butting heads with others just wears you out in the end. So get into the right mindset for manifesting by deciding you're no longer going to take the bait or provoke a situation. And so this is kind of reflecting upon what I just said prior to. Tune into your manifesting powers. So tuning into your manifesting powers says the solar plexus chakra is your center of courage and confidence. Now that's basically below, just above the belly button, or basically below the breastbone. This energy can restore vitality and help you to feel brighter and more secure. Visualize yourself in a column of shimmering yellow light. Hold the card to your solar plexus and call in the energies by repeating this version of Louise Hay's famous affirmations. Energies of the first quarter moon in Capricorn, thank you for reminding me that I am a loving child of the universe. When to manifest your magic? The best time to work your magic is when the moon is in Capricorn on a Saturday, or Saturn's day, they say, or during Saturn's hour, and they explain it here. But the first quarter moon in Capricorn takes place when the sun is in Libra and the moon is in Capricorn. It knows that true success comes from the heart. Be in your heart at this time. If you can be in your heart at this time and wish for your desire, then it is likely that the universe will help you to bring that about, or something better. So the next card we have is the full moon in Aries. Cool your emotions. Oh my goodness. So it really shows that emotions are high at this time, and they could be very angry, they could be very fearful, they could be resentful, they could be very disturbing, and also very disunified. And in fact, it sure is. I mean, unity in this world right now is being challenged to its highest degree. So I urge you to think upon your heart, your compassion. Find that the compassion that is buried deep inside, if you have had the anger building up for a long period of time, and expose it. Be raw with it. Know that it might clear a lot of other emotions if you could say, I am joy. You may be bawling for a while just to get everything cleared up, but it will help. Trust me, it will help. It helped me a lot when I did that. So, cooling your emotions, full moon in Aries. Are you in the middle of an argument, or perhaps in the mood to pick an argument? Surely not. Or are you being overly forward? This is a time of heated emotions and frayed tempers. Anger is better than despair, as Abraham Hicks taught us, because anger spurs us on to do something, but you may get better results if you master your emotions. Certainly avoid stirring the pot, or it could boil over. Cooling your emotions and being the peacemaker means you'll attract a more peaceful outcome. Manifesting balance. Seek a balance between you, and me, me, me. The manifesting mindset that they say here is there's no point in pretending that you don't have intense feelings, as this blocks your manifesting powers. You need to work through your feelings by thinking of the people involved, or forgiving yourself. And that is basically with any emotions that are high like that, and at this particular time, especially at this particular time, feel that emotion. It's not to say you need to suppress it. It's basically saying feel the emotion, but don't let it take you over. Don't let it regurgitate over and over again when you think about the situation, or when you're in that particular situation. Say, for example, if you have to go to work on a day-to-day basis and you're dealing with the same set of circumstances or people, and every day you go in there with resentment or fear or anger or whatever the case is, all you're doing is you're just keeping that, ruminating and regurgitating that emotion. So what it's saying here is take the emotion, feel it, but this is the challenge: let it go. What can replace that emotion that could actually neutralize the circumstance for yourself? Don't let it take over for you. A manifesting ritual for releasing fiery feelings. Add Angelica essential oil to your diffuser. Find a comfortable seated position and gently close your eyes. And I urge you to also take 3 deep belly breaths when you do that. That is literally so healing. Call in Athena, the warrior goddess, to give you the courage you need to work through your emotions, or your guides. Call your guides, call in your guides to ask you to help you, ask to help in experiencing the emotions, but letting them go. Ask Athena to surround you with her energy so that you can transmute anger into healthy anger and even love, including in dramas with others, or, like I said, the elite. Out of this, only good will come. Keep that in mind. If you could say that as an affirmation, out of this, only good will come. That will be kind of like a lovely mantra to keep going. out of this, only good will come. Out of this, only good will come. So the best time to manifest is when the full moon is Aries. It takes place when the sun is in Libra and the moon is in Aries. So, I mean, this is a very incredibly intense time, and it's not just it's what we see around the world, but keep in mind too that we have a lot of power as humans. We have a lot of power within, and we could change this reality just by making that switch, to flick the switch for yourself to see things in a different perspective. Number one, know that when you do that, you also turn on the compassion. Turning on the compassion also opens your eyes and your intuition to see the truths that are out there, because there's a whole lot of stuff that is basically being thrown at us, whether it's through the media or through our supposed leaders and or elites that are out there, that you don't know whether or not there's truth in this or it's real. So I want to urge you to look into that for yourself. Don't just listen to what it is that you hear and say, oh, it's truth, because that's really bypassing your own internal truth thing that you have. This is basically part of the soul. This honors the higher self. And that higher self is saying, you have everything in your power to be able to get through this. You are able to look at anything that you're fearing at this particular time, especially without in the world, and you can help in neutralizing that. If you're seeing the atrocities that are happening in different parts of the world, you can do that. Take a moment, 10 minutes, and close your eyes, sit in a spot, basically get yourself in a nice, comfortable position by breathing, taking those 3 deep breaths, and send prayers, love, compassion out to that world, that end of the world. If it's within you, sit, take in the breath work, and send compassion to yourself. If it's someone else around you, your loved ones, family, friends, anybody, send the energy of love to them. And with regards to the leaders that are, they're promoting, they're promoting segregation and not unity. When you see that, you have to kind of look and say, what do you want to see? Do you want to see a unified world? Do you want to see a world that has harmony? Then sit in your own little spot, take a moment, and send out that harmony to everyone, including them. So this is something that you can do for this new moon. I want you to take the moment at least to just basically honor the new moon, honor yourself, and realize that the energy that is coming in from this beautiful sun that we have, that is going through a solar eclipse, that we are intensely affected by this beautiful energy that's coming in from that. And we have these manifesting capabilities, very high manifesting capabilities. Spend some time talking to your guides, meditate, pray, do some yoga, do something in nature. Oh gosh, do something in nature. Listen to the birds, they're so beautiful. Just do something for yourself that calms you and allows those emotions that might be welling up inside of you to just be experienced, and then let them go. Thank you very much for listening to this and for watching me on my channel. And if you like this video, please hit the like button below and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't. That way you can be notified when I upload my next videos. So thank you once again, and happy new moon to you all. Bye for now.